So, today is October the 12th, and on this day, 29 years ago, and I can hardly believe it's been that long ago, it was the last day of Expo 92. I worked at La Exposición in Sevilla in Spain then. I was a bartender and I worked in the British Pavilion, and I'm not going to lie, it was a fantastic experience. I loved living in Spain. We got to see the Gypsy Kings. We enjoyed all of the surrounding part of Andalusia. I really would like to maybe move one day back to Andalusia, maybe to Granada, but it was a terrific time there. I've mentioned before that it was a bit problematic there, and a lot of my co-workers were fired, and this then morphed into one of these protests against the celebration of 1492. You know, it was the quincentenary of the landing in, I think, what turns out to be the Bahamas of Christopher Columbus, which actually was on this day in 1492. So it was the 500-year anniversary. And the people who got fired joined with other people to, instead of having the T-shirt that said the Exposición 92, it said Explotación 92. That is 500 years of exploitation, because let's be honest, the arrival of Columbus in the Americas did not presage super well for the people who were already living here. You know, amazing though it may have been for this Italian to discover things for the Spanish so that they could make loads of money and fund wars against the English and whatever else they're going to do, but it did not work out well for everyone. Political, that is. And of course that kind of transfers over into ways that we celebrate holidays now in America. And Columbus Day is rightly under attack. It's now on the Monday, so that was yesterday was Columbus Day. It was always traditionally celebrated on the 12th of October, marking the day he landed. And, you know, its day is gone. Let's just be honest. It is time to have an Indigenous Peoples Day instead. And if that happens to be on the same day, that's okay. Let's just do that, because that is something way more worth celebrating, in my opinion. But the expo was amazing, and I miss those days very much. And so trying to come up with a drink to mark it was a 6-month experience in the British Pavilion at the Expo. Lived close by, walked across the bridge every day by the Guadalquivir. I liked the music. I was there for Semana Santa. See all the people walking along with the great big costumes on, and that's at Easter, you know, Holy Week. I loved it all. And there is one thing that sort of marks. Well, there's many things that mark Sevilla. Actually, Maradona was playing for Sevilla when I was there. I didn't go and see him, which is actually to my eternal regret, even though my friend John will curse me for that, not liking Maradona because of the old hand of God thing against England. But I loved Sevilla. It was amazing. And so how do you mark that? I thought, well, what I'm going to do is come up with a cocktail called a Sevillana. There is a dance, a Sevillana, which is like flamenco-ish, and it sort of refers to someone being from Sevilla. But of course, with Seville or Sevilla, we often think of the Sevilla oranges. So this cocktail, the Sevillana, is going to take as its base this new gin from Tanqueray called Sevilla Orange. And I've tried it. It's a little on the sweet side. It's a London dry gin, but it's sweet because of the addition of the Sevilla Orange flavour in it and taste in it. But, you know, I'm going to make it anyway. I think this is a good one. I couldn't find another cocktail that related to Sevilla, so this is the one. I'm making it up, and I think it's okay. It's a strong sort of sweet late night sipper, I describe it as. And I personally think it's delicious. I hope you do too. If you can try it, let me know. So we're going to use 2 ounces of this Sevilla Orange Tanqueray. It's a gorgeous colour, actually. I guess we kind of want this drink to be that Sevilla orange, or at least an orange colour, correct? Yeah, I think so. And I mixed it with vermouth, and there's this really interesting vermouth I found. It's called Lustau Rosé Vermouth. It's actually from the south of Spain, and it's the Jerez region, which is where sherry is from, so it uses sherry grapes, but it's a rosé one. It is also a little on the sweet side. So like I say, this is going to be a sweet cocktail. This is super fragrant, as is that gin. So it's going to be a very fragrant, sweet gin-based drink. I'm going to put in 3/4 of an ounce of that. And then, as if that wasn't all enough sweet and orange in there, I'm going to put in some China, which is a kind of bitter sweet orange liqueur. You could use triple sec or something like that. Amer piquant would probably be perfect. I don't want to put too much of this in, but it will add a degree of complexity to the drink, which is what I'm really looking for. I'm only going to put in a 1/4 ounce of that stuff. A little goes a long way. And then finally, because this is an orange cocktail, let's just have a dash of Angostura orange bitters, just to really seal the deal on the orange. But don't worry, I'm going to put a twist of orange in there as well, just in case you thought there wasn't enough orange in this thing. Let's give this a good stir with plenty of ice, making that loud, not quite as loud as shaking, but quite a loud stirring mix in our stirring glass, our mixing glass, until it's nice and chilly. I'm not going to worry about that going too long, because what I'm doing is I'm going to pour it into a glass. I've put one of those giant ice cubes in there, because realizing that this is quite a strong drink and it's a bit of a sipper, you kind of want it to stay well chilled and get some little bit of dilution, but not too much. And I think that this will perfectly do the trick. We just pour that into our double old fashioned that has that giant ice cube in it. And then I'm going to give myself a really thick slice of orange, because I feel that's going to need it. So rather than my usual potato peeler that I usually use, I'm just going to use a knife and just get that great big slice of it like that. I'm going to twist it and get some of the orange oils on there. This is not a bitter Sevilla orange, so I'm not going to be able to make marmalade with it, but I can make what I hope, and in fact I know, is a rather delicious cocktail. Let's see what we've got. Excelente. Salud a la Expo 92. Cheers.